Hi guys, this is Crafty Cat. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. We are here with day 5 of World Watercolor Month. The word of the day, the prompt is lock. And I could have taken the easy way out and just drawn a little lock, and I was very tempted to do that. But I do want to try to challenge myself, and I figure it's better to do that now early. Well, it's the first week of World Watercolor Month because I know I'm going to get tired and overwhelmed partway through, and that's probably when I'll start doing the smaller ones. But you know what? I live in an area with a beautiful canal, and these are the Soo Locks. And I walk on Whitefish Island quite often, and I have a million pictures of boats going through the locks and just the locks without boats. So anyway, these are the Soo Locks. This is the International Bridge. This is my favorite house that I love and I have a million pictures of. And this is the Soo Locks boat tour. And yeah, so I did my best with this little light sketch. I know it's not that dark. I don't know if you could see it very well. So I think this is going to be like a huge challenge for me. And I'm going to be using these brand new Himi Gouache. There are 36 colors. They're little half cups. And it came with brushes. I do have an unboxing, and I do have where I opened all the cups. But you probably won't see those for a while because I am trying my best to get out one video every day for World Watercolor Month. We'll see how long that lasts for. So I'm going to try to do this with gouache, with Himi Gouache. So let's see if I could take the cover off of this. Kind of nervous. So I've got that lid off. And it did come with this mixing tray. And unfortunately, when I put it down, all of the paint got stuck on it. So I've got some orange and red. I'm just going to see if I can use another paintbrush to put this back. So that is the problem with the Himi Gouache, is they are very messy. And I think that's why I stopped using them last time. But you know what? I was looking through some of my older sketchbooks, and I really love them. I really love the way the paint looks. Even now that some of my paintings are 2 years old, they look so velvety and just really lovely on the paper. So I thought I'd give them another try, and they were on sale. They were on sale for $26 Canadian, and I'm making a huge mess right here. Of course I am. So I'll just have to wash that later. I want to use this enough that the paint levels go down. So anyway, this is the little mixing tray. And these are all the colors. There's 2 white. And there's light colors and blues and blacks and just really beautiful colors. So I'm just going to do my best, you guys. The set came with 3 brand new brushes. It came with, oh, that's an older brush. It came with these 3 brushes. I've already used this one. And I also still had these 2 from my last set, plus I have another set of 3 that I haven't even opened yet. So yeah, so I think what we'll do is we'll use this one, and this one. And I have lots of other brushes near me if I need them for smaller brushes or whatever. But these are the brushes that came with the gouache. So I'm just going to put them down beside me. And I have another paper towel in my hand. And yeah, I'm super excited to do this. So the sky in my picture is almost the same color as the paper, with a little bit of blue on this side. For some reason, there's blue over here, and then it fades, and then it kind of goes almost like an orangey gray. And there's a little bit of blue underneath the boat. And over here, I don't know where I should try. And one nice thing about gouache is you do not have to save the white. So, yeah. I think for the sky, I want some of this blue and some of this white. Okay, guys, so I have sped this up 15 times faster than the normal speed. I don't normally paint this quickly. And I am just going in. I have decided, I've made the executive decision that I'm changing the sky. I don't want it half blue and half white, although I do want blue and white both in the sky. So I'm playing around with the sky and I'm just getting used to this gouache. I really like this Himi gouache, but I haven't used it for a very long time because my old set dried right out. So I have to get used to it. And there's a sweet spot where you have to add water, but not too much water. So yeah, and here I'm adding the clips because I always forget to add the clips. And now I'm trying to go with the dark spots on the water. And I'm going with like a kind of a tealy blue color. And then I'm going to add some lighter colors in the water. And I'm going to do this again and again. I'm just trying to pay attention to my contrast and my tones. So I want to make sure I have the darks and the medium and the light tones in. And my dark tones here were not dark enough. So I'm just playing around with how I want the water to look quite a bit before I go back and add black because it really was black in the shadow. Although I do like how this looks, and gouache does dry darker some of the colors. So here I'm using different greens and mixing them to add the trees that are all behind the buildings. When I took this picture, the trees were just beautiful, just covering everything basically. There's a bunch of trees. There was a little lilac tree next to the building, but I didn't add the purple because I didn't want to add that extra color. It was so small you wouldn't be able to see it. I just wanted that background, you know? So I am really enjoying this gouache. The boat, I probably should have taken better time painting and drawing the boat. Um I really simplified it a lot. The boat is a bright yellow and blue color. It's a really pretty boat. And the top part has a little kind of mesh screen where it's fenced in where the people are. And I didn't paint any of the people because this took me 2.5 hours altogether, and I just didn't have it in me to add little figures. So here you can see I'm trying to add darker colors, but I'm still not going dark enough. I'm just adding, thinking, well, what if I add like a greeny blue because there is kind of a green in the water. And it was really pretty, but it still wasn't dark enough. So from now on, I think I'm just gonna try to go in with dark and remember that it's okay with gouache. You can lighten gouache up again, but you have to wait for it to dry because if you don't, it just blends. And now I'm just quickly painting in the windows and the little I don't know, it's like a little logo on the front of the boat. It says Soo Locks on it, but I didn't go in and write Soo Locks on it. It just I might do it later once everything's dry. I didn't do it yet. If I do, I'll just use a little fine tip marker. So now I'm adding two different kinds of yellow to the boat. I want it darker at the bottom and lighter at the top. These yellows are really, really beautiful. A mistake I made was I didn't put my sky down far enough because I was afraid it would cover the drawing. So I have to go in and fix that later. So I'm just doing the little awning on the boat and just playing with the sky a little bit more. So I painted the little fenced in area, like it's like a guardrail so people don't fall out when they're standing on top in yellow. And then I thought that wasn't good, so I lightened it up again. And then I'm painting this little tiny building. It's really a big building. It's a beautiful building. And it was made with stone that was taken from the ground that the locks were dug out of. It's a sandstone building. It's really beautiful. But I can't go into very much detail with this painting. I have painted this building once before. I would like to do it again in a bigger size. But I'm just trying to give the shape that there's a building there and keep it kind of simple. And there's another building over here that I'm painting. It's just like a little tall rectangular box kind of building. I'm not sure what it is. I know people can climb up to the top and stand on the top, but it literally looks just like a big rectangle. And the top part is like a lighter green and the bottom part's a darker green. And then there's the walls of the canal of the locks. And then there's a little fenced in area that I have to do later. And now I am going in and doing the pavement on the other side. And I kind of mess it up because there's a big dark shadow that I drew out perfectly. And then for some reason I painted over the drawing, thinking maybe it should extend more. You'll see here I'm painting it in gray. And there's like a building with a shadow. And now I'm going in black. And I think I made a mistake and then I just got mad and I made it too big. But I go back and fix it later and put it back to where it was. That's what I really do like about gouache. It's so forgiving. And there's a little green area back there. That's where I go for my walks. That leads to that is Whitefish Island on this side that I'm painting. And if you keep walking to the left of where my hand is in real life, there's a beautiful nature trail. And it will bring you over a bridge on one side. If you stay to the right side of the other bridge, there's a beautiful beaver pond. I've seen as many as 12 beavers at one time. And if you cross over the little bridge and keep walking, it brings you to the St. Mary's River and the rapids. It's a really beautiful area. It's my favorite place to walk in town. So I'm playing with this little walkway quite a bit because I'm trying to get the look of worn pavement. So yeah, and when it's too wet and I can't do anything, I go mess with the sky again, change the color a few times. And now I'm going to probably go in with those little buildings way, way in the back. And now I'm working on the boat again, and I'm just going all over the place, really. Oh, I'm doing the flagpoles and the lights, and now I'm doing the details on the top of the boat. I changed brushes quite a few times, trying to look for. I do have a really nice fine detail watercolor brush, but it wasn't firm enough for the gouache. So I had to play. I think I tried 3 or 4 different brushes until I need to find like a stiff detail brush for gouache. And I'm playing with the water some more. I'm trying to deepen the shadows at the end of like on both sides of the boat. And at this point, I am exhausted, you guys. I'm not used to taking 2.5 hours for a painting. Usually, my little watercolor paintings, I can do them in half an hour to an hour. Now I'm doing the International Bridge and some more lights. Yeah, I was really tired with this. And now I'm doing the rope that ties the boat down and another rope. And then I decided to paint the shadows of the rope, but I hated it. I hated it so much that I had to go back and fix it with some yellow, like to cover over the where I did the shadows later. And I think I'm doing the little fence area over on the other side now. And we're coming to the end of this fast forward. Okay guys, I am done. I think this took me 2.5, maybe 3 hours. I could keep going and add more detail, but I'm going to stop here. I just want it kind of, as I don't know what the word is, not abstract, but like almost abstract. I want it to look sort of like what it looks like, but not exactly. And I think like this is pushing it for me. I really, really enjoyed working with this Himi Gouache. Let's see what this is going to look like with the clips off. I'm very excited to pull these clips off and see what we have. I've just got my Paul Rubens underneath to tilt this up for you guys. So let's see. Super excited. I hope that none of the paint went under the tape. So far so good. So far so good. Uh-oh. So I've got 2 layers of tape at the bottom because my picture that I had was longer than it was wide type of thing. So I had to add an extra piece of tape at the bottom to make it fit. So this is looking good. So far so good. None of the tape ripped and none of the paint went under the tape. Oh, the tape ripped a little bit over there. That's a shame. That's looking much better. Oh yeah, the tape ripped a lot over here. Let's see. Oh, it's looking so much better with the tape gone. And the last piece of tape at the bottom. So I've got a bigger square at the bottom. And the tape ripped. But we're done. So let me just move this aside. And move this messy stuff aside. I'll just turn it this way. I just shoved my whole finger in the orange. So that is how it looks all finished. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm going to write on the bottom after that I did it with the Himi Gouache that it's day 5, that the prompt was lock, and this is the Soo Locks. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'll show you the picture here so you could see that I really simplified it a lot. I'm happy with basically everything. I really, really enjoyed it. And I was trying to get this to look more like it does. The only thing I didn't put, there's a white line that needs to go down here. I might go later with the white line. Should I do it now? I've got my ruler out, don't I? Where's my ruler? I think this is dry and I can go with it. Right about here. I'm going to try to just use my pencil. And I'm just going to use my pencil here. It didn't really show. Let's try it again. Get a little bit of white there, and there's some light hitting on some of these things. And there's some white right here. And I want to go over this and make it a little bit brighter. And I'm just going to put some on the roof here, over here. Just add a little bit of white. I could have done this with gouache, but I tried to leave some of the white from the paint showing. Over here I went over it. There. That's all I wanted to add with those lines. This is just a charcoal pencil. It can wipe right off. So yeah, I guess I could write everything down. So let's write, what's day 5, right? Day 5, lock, Soo Locks, World Watercolor Month 25, July 5th, or was it this, yeah, July 5th, 25. Write my name. Himi Gouache. I had so much fun doing this, you guys. But it took me forever. Way longer than my watercolors. But this was a lot of fun. Here's what it looks like. And here's the photo of how it should have looked. But this is my artist rendition of it. Happy. I am happy with how that turned out. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you liked this. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of those good things that help as a channel. And most importantly of all, take care, stay safe, happy painting, happy crafting, happy whatever it is you love to do. And happy World Watercolor Month. Bye guys.